how this works is, let's say we are going to do certain thing in Magento, and let me describe that these things can be done using couple of methods. First method will be to create the preferences. We will be having a dedicated lecture for this, but if we do have preferences, in that case we will be using object manager. The dependencies will be automatically loaded. So in preferences we will be creating modules, and we will be using this further. Simultaneously we have other things as well, like argument replacement, or then virtual types. We have dedicated lectures for all these that I'm going to write down here, but just want to give you overview how they came into existence and why they are required actually. And after virtual type we also going to look for the proxies, which is a pattern, which is a design pattern. Then we are going to look for the factories. Now we have the object manager, and we know that our dependencies, or whenever we are going to create a new object, it will be created using object manager. So let's say Magento has a class named as customer, and in core coding there was something done in this class, and whenever the instance of this class was created, let's say a function was fetching the first name of the customer. So now we need to change this functionality here, and we have to add some suffix to this first name. So what we can do in this case is, we know that Magento has an object manager which actually will be used whenever the object of customer class is created. So if we can modify the place where when this object will be created, we can change something by which this first name will be overridden with our custom first name function. And for this, Magento allows us to do this via a file named as di.xml. Now di.xml came into existence by this way only, where di is dependency injection. So whenever I am going to create an instance of any class, Magento's object manager is called, but Magento's object manager is bound to resolve all the dependencies first from di.xml. So in a sense, whenever object manager is called, it's like it's a fake story actually, but it will help you to understand Magento's core coding very easily. So whenever the object is created using object manager, prior to that the di.xml is actually resolved, all the xml in this file is checked, and based on that, in this di.xml, when we want to create the preference, we see that we can define the preference tag, and after that we define for and type. So in my for statement, I can define my customer class, that whenever my customer class object is created, I need my custom class object to be created instead of my customer class. So in this way we are able to override Magento's core functioning, and the preferences are in use. So this is the first way by which we will be able to create modules. But now what happens is, let's say you modified Magento's core functioning, okay, and now we are going to the next level here, where the preference is actually clear to us, which was provided by Magento to us to resolve all the complexities in the core coding, and or to change the complexities or the functionalities of core coding, where we can remove what instance or object was created, and we can replace it with our custom one, and we can change the functionality there. Now if we use the preference, what happens is, let's say I have a preference for customer class, and I change it to my custom preference, custom class. Now whenever the preference for this class whenever the object for this class is triggered, my preference is actually getting called. So if I use a third-party module who was dependent on the customer's object, whenever they will try to create the object, my custom object is created and things may malfunction. So preferences are not recommended as far as Magento is concerned. Then what is the alternative? So then came the argument replacement in existence.